All right, CSS battle time. Let's do. Whoa. Let's. Let's do this. Wow, that looks fun. Um, at least the border radius should be repeated. But goodness, this I don't see any way to do this other than a bunch of elements. Um, wow. One, two, three. Oh, it's just four. It's four elements. They're all centered, at least. Okay, so four in the middle. It's just four, and then I need at least two more for the borders. So I'm gonna have two long ones and then four short ones is kind of what I need. The two long ones I can do a box shadow and a rotate to duplicate them. So that's nice. And then the smaller ones, yeah. Do I do all P tags? Can I do this without any kind of like selector? Like there's the attribute selector that doesn't add that much for selecting an element, but I don't think we're gonna need it. So we're gonna get a background on the HTML element, of course, because that's just got to be done. And then we're gonna select everything, and they're all gonna be position fixed. I mean, if I just styled the body with the background and then I started selecting the P tags, I'd need position fixed. It'd nice to be able to like just center things, like use position center. Um, uh, I wonder if I can. I wonder if I can still do that with the positioning. I don't think I can, but position fixed. It's gonna have a padding. We're gonna use this for one of the long bars. I'm gonna do the long bars first. It'll have. We're gonna do the left one because then I can do the right hand thing and then I can do a 90-degree rotate and it'll be down. So it'll match up that way. So that's my plan. It's gonna be like 100. It's gonna be more than that, but we're gonna start with that. And background, everything after this is going to get the black color. I'm not going to copy the black color because those, instead of doing 6 zeros, we can do 3 and get the same effect. We're actually pretty close on the height on that. I bet it's, oh, not 150. Actually, maybe I leave it at 100. It's probably about right there. All right, let's get a border radius on this. Let's see. 1 inch. That looks pretty stinking close. Let's yeah, margin is less than left and top once you get both properties in there. Let's go 100. No, 50, and then 100. There we go. Let's see where we're at on this. We got to get a little closer, but that looks pretty good. That looks perfect. Wonderful. I love it when a plan comes together. My goodness. All right, and then we're going to box shadow. I wonder if a box reflect on these angled ones, would a box reflect give you a mirrored angle if I have them like, I'm gonna test it on this actually. I'm gonna test it. I'm gonna put a rotate on it and see what the box reflect. WebKit dash box dash reflect, because that halves the number of elements I need. Right. All right. Now let's just throw a rotate on this at 35 degrees. Okay. So It doesn't. It doesn't mirror. But what if we did above? Yeah, it's on that axis, so never mind. It's not a mirror image. Scale -1, you need a second element for that to work. So I'll just stick with my original plan and brute force it here. Let's keep it short and sweet, right? Right, box, shadow, 100 pixels, 0. And the default is black, so we don't have to do a color with the box shadow. So that is definitely the way to go. 150, 140. All right. Now, do I start using p tags? Because I'll have to overwrite the properties on the shorter p tags. Oh, power saver. Oh boy, I thought I had you plugged in. I guess I didn't. Let's see what happens. I might have to go grab my cord. If I do a p tag and I do a big one, all I have to really overwrite is the margin and the padding. So yeah, we can just do 5 p tags. That's gonna be fun. All right. That's 5, right? Okay. There they're showing up. So we're going to select our first p tag, and we're just going to nest all the way down through to get all of our p tags selected, just one by one, and it's easy enough to do that. Rotate 90 degrees. There we go. We're going to margin, overwrite the margin, -100 and 0, 50. 60, interesting, and get it all the way up here, 60, 170, there we go, see, no box shadow needed. Oh, we're gonna have to undo a box shadow for the follow-up ones, because I did box shadow. It's such a cheap way to get extra elements, though, that, you know, these 2 elements here for the border. Anything else, I could do a box reflect, but then these ones would have the box. I'd have to override that as well. So there's no 2 ways about it. I gotta either override a box shadow or a box reflect, or use a whole nother element that I margin into place. And the margin, the selector, and the element add up to more than this box shadow. And I might be less because I have to write box shadow and 0 on the following p tags, you know, like box shadow unset. I wonder if I can just write a 0 and override it that way. Sometimes you can. Padding, we are going to start, I think let's start with the vertical one. Like, let's get this one, because we're already rotated this way, so let's start with the flat one, and then get it centered so that our rotations should be lined up. I'm really hoping that that's the case. So our padding is now going to be like 10 by 50. No, 20, 30, 40. All right. So box shadow is not unsetting. 0, 0. There we go. That unset it. Because you have to do both. You have to give it a valid prompt for the 0, 0 to override the box shadow. Otherwise, it's just skipping that line and nothing's being applied. Let's margin you into place. 0. All right, 10. We're a little bit big on this, so I think 20. You are going to be 0 or -10. Interesting. Okay, that's in place. We are doing good. So plus P, let's see if we can just get away with doing rotates. Rotate 45 degrees. Hey, okay, I think we got this. I think it's in the bag now. rotate. All right, you know what we're gonna do. We're coming up to this first one. We're wrapping it in a var. I'm gonna say dash dash d is our variable, and then we're gonna come down here because we're gonna have to write this 4 times, so we'll get savings on this. We'll come to this one, and we'll go dash dash d. It's gonna be 45 degrees. Oh, I mean 90, right? Or is it another 45? No. 135. Okay. Good. Alright, we just got to do all the degrees. And then plus P, nested again, so we get our last paragraph, dash dash D, and then... Wait, what? Okay, wait. So if I don't give that variable an assignment, I gotta see, which one did we start with? We started with the vertical one. So if I don't give it any assignment, let's see. It sets it to 0? So it's flat? Is that it? So if I do, let's compare. So we don't have an assignment there. 0 degrees is the same as that. So interesting. So it doesn't really matter what order we do these in. We just have to select all the ones we need. Yeah, let's just do that. You know what? I'm down with that. It's defaulting it to 0. %. Let's take it. That is the cheesiest of cheese, but I will take it. And I kind of like it, actually. An invalid reassignment of the variable is the same as declaring 0. Or, yeah, like unsetting that value because it's set up here, so it's almost like saying, yeah, this doesn't have a value anymore, and that's wild. Okay, cool. I love it. I mean, to get all those elements positioned and just have to do a rotate on them, it feels pretty cheap, to do it. So very few characters for each element there, and I can't think of another way of doing that. Yeah, without having bars. All I see are just bars right there. I don't see a way to do that with like circles or radial gradient or something that repeats. Yeah, I can't think of a better way to get around this. There's probably some neat tricks with like scale, because if you do -1, -1, -1, you get this mirror image of things, and so that might get us some savings if you're clever with it. I don't see it being better than what we have here, because each element is only taking this many characters to position it. I guess you could have done, I wonder if it is a direct, like these are the same, oh, they're not a scaled down version because they're the same width, but they're different lengths. So scale, well, maybe if you gave it an X and Y scale value, right? Because you can give it 2 values. I'm not testing it. My battery's almost done. So, all right, that was fun. Catch you next time.